Hello humans and welcome to my mythology vlog. Yes, this is a complete rip-off of Dael Kingsmill's mythology vlogs. Sorry, in this first episode and probably last episode, I'm going to talk about Finnish mythology. Unfortunately, much of the Finnish mythology has been lost because when the Swedes came to Finland and brought Christianity a few years ago, they wiped a lot of our mythology in the process. We didn't have a written language back then, so we couldn't write anything down. So everything is oral mythology that we know about. And that has been written down as a book called Kalevala. You can find the book online in English too, to read it if you want. One of the main heroes in the Kalevala is called Väinämöinen. He's described as a singer of poems and a man of great wisdom and knowledge. He looks a bit like Gandalf, and that's not a coincidence. Tolkien, when he wrote The Lord of the Rings and the mythology behind it, was very aware of Kalevala and actually based one of his elven languages on the Finnish language. But anyway, there's two main nations in the world in Kalevala. In the south is a country called Kalevala, and in the north is a country called Pohjola. And the queen of Pohjola is this woman called Louhi. She is described as an old hag, bucktooth, with a crooked nose. And she is the kind of person who gave birth to all diseases and blights in the world, and also gave birth to wolves and other nasty things. So she is not a happy camper. But she had very beautiful daughters that everybody wanted to marry. And Väinämöinen was no exception. So Väinämöinen went north to speak to Louhi to ask if one of her daughters would marry him. And Louhi said, well, not really, but if you build me a Sampo, then I will reconsider. Sampo is a really powerful artifact in the Finnish mythology. There's some confusion as to what it actually is. One theory says that it's the pole that keeps the sky from falling down on Earth, and the other school says that it's a device that's a sort of a horn of plenty, a cornucopia that can produce salt, grain and gold out of thin air. And let's go with that second interpretation in this story. Väinämöinen himself couldn't build such a thing, but he knew somebody who could. His good friend Seppo Ilmarinen, or Ilmarinen the Smith. This guy was really good with hammer and anvil. In his spare time he built things like the sky, for example, just because he was bored. So Väinämöinen tricked his friend to build Sampo for Louhi. And after he had accomplished this task, Louhi took Sampo and hid it inside a stony mountain and told Ilmarinen to piss off. Ilmarinen, of course, was really angry about this and went to complain to Väinämöinen, who also got really mad, and they took their friend Lemminkäinen, and the three of them took a boat to Pohjola. And while they were rowing, the boat was attacked by a giant pike. Normally this would spell disaster, but Väinämöinen was on board and he jumped in the ocean and tore the lower jawbone out of the pike's mouth, and then he fashioned it into a kantele. Kantele is a Finnish instrument. I'm going to put the picture somewhere here. Nobody else could play this kantele except Väinämöinen, and when he did, he could mesmerize the whole creation with it. And when they got to the shores of Pohjola, Väinämöinen played his kantele, and the whole army of Pohjola, including Louhi herself, fell asleep. And while they were sleeping, Väinämöinen and his pals went to the stony mountain and stole Sampo. They dragged it back to the boat and started rowing away. And at this point, the army of the north woke up and started attacking the boat. Louhi herself turned into a giant eagle and attacked the boat. And while this massive battle was raging on, the Sampo was destroyed, and all that was left was the useless cover of the device that Louhi kept. And the ocean took away all the important bits. And years later, when the bits of Sampo floated to shore, they enriched the soil and made farming possible. And the three super friends, Väinämöinen, Ilmarinen and Lemminkäinen, went on to other adventures that I'm not going to cover here. So this was one of the stories in Kalevala. I hope you liked this video. I might make more sometimes, maybe, if Dael doesn't kill me for ripping off her idea. If I survive, I will do more videos. Bye bye!